Hey there everyone, FlamePlays here, and welcome back to a brand new Minecraft video. It has been a week because I'm finally on a weekly schedule. Anyway guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video is a little different. It is not an actual time-lapse building video, because I just don't have time and I'm going on vacation in about 2 hours, so I have to get this video up. But guys, a lot of people have been asking for a tutorial on how to build this step by step. Not only the Southern Air Temple, also the Southern Water Tribe. And I'm not going to give you a full tutorial, like full block by block tutorial, or else I would be here for absolutely ages. But I'm going to walk through the different parts of it. I'm going to walk through how I came up with a lot of the ideas, how I ended up choosing the build palettes, stuff like that. So we're going to start with the Southern Air Temple, and we're going to work our way back to the Southern Water Tribe. I will have timestamps in the description that also should be chapters on the, just on the video itself. So yeah, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome building videos coming your way. I returned from vacation the day that this goes up, actually. So expect some more awesome building videos in the near future. Anyway guys, let's jump right into it. What we just walked over is one of my favorite parts of this entire build, which is this diagonal bridge. Now I'm not going to explain how to build this because this was a lot of trial and error. It was just basically me testing out like the diagonals and the lines. You saw I did first out of like blue concrete, and then I came back and did it with slabs and stuff. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks great from far away. Up close it's a little iffy, and I didn't even detail the other side, but no one's gonna see that, so it's okay, who cares? Anyway, yeah, so that's the bridge. Looking at an overall picture of this thing, the biggest thing you're gonna notice is, well, first the towers, but then also the cliffs. So the way the cliffs were done was a painstaking process. Initially, Raven, the person who was helping me out, built the entire thing in World Painter, which is a program where you can basically paint on terrain and stuff. So he made this entire thing out of diorite, and so we started the process basically by fixing everything up in diorite, and then went back and changed it into this gradient of cyan, terracotta, stone, and andesite, and at the very top it's just andesite. So that kind of leads your eye up, but then also the hand building took a lot of time. So as you can see, there's just, this was all reshaped here. I had to completely cut out this area. This is all additional. This area wasn't here. This pathway, these pathways going up here, this was all just solid. So I had to completely reshape that. This over here, this down here. These are all things that I added by hand and using a brush tool on World Edit, which allows you to like drop sand. So I did that, and that creates kind of like a rough base for us to start with, and then we can do the rest of it by hand. A lot of the rock textures that I use are basically just, well, for this one it was a bigger project and you're not going to see like the individual details of the rocks. I just went with stone and andesite because it's not going to be as detailed as something like the Southern Water Tribe. But as you'll see in a little while with the Southern Water Tribe, I have more details in that one with like coral and like these coral blocks on them to make it just even more detailed, but that looks more dead, so I thought it fit better in the Southern Water Tribe. So this is much more lush and green. The towers, I think, are the next thing I want to talk about here. Towers were a lot of trial and error because I cannot do oriental roofs. That is a lesson learned that I should have learned from the Isle of Armor building video I did, where I did the dojo roof. But somehow I did not learn that lesson, and I definitely learned it here. These roofs were a pain to do. Let's quickly speak about the rest of it. It's literally just a white concrete cylinder with some holes cut for the windows and some like type of balcony design thing with a bunch of stairs. A good tip, actually, if you want to build, iron trap doors work really well as like a smaller quartz slab. So if I were to take a quartz slab and put it here, it just like doesn't have as much texture if I wanted to like make it look like a full arch. So the iron trapdoor works really well in those circumstances. But yeah, no, the roof was a pain, and you're probably wondering, like, why are these all just copy and pasted? Because I wasn't building this roof more than once. This roof was hell, and I just built 1/4 and then copy and pasted it, but getting the shape right was so difficult, and you can imagine how it got more difficult for the larger roof over here, where I had to do the same thing on a larger scale, which is, yeah, basically just the same roof, but on a larger scale, which is a lot harder than it may sound. And then after doing this one, I was like, okay, I'm confident enough to do the big one. So we have the big one up here, which was a journey. It was a journey in itself. It started out as just like a sphere, and then we built up these like corners. I am no expert in this roof. I am like the furthest thing from an expert. So definitely be sure to go check out like some other tutorials on like these roof designs. But this is just how I ended up doing it. I'm not the best example because mine are just kind of like makeshift. And if you can tell for the windows, it's basically the same as these smaller ones where it's just 2 blocks in a stair block. I just upscaled that a little bit for the big one, as you can see there. And the spirals is just literally 2 blocks up, going all the way around and about like 11 blocks apart. So that's like that. Down here, as you can see, all windows and doors are just covered by black concrete or black concrete powder because I wasn't going to do interiors for this. It took long enough already. But, you know, if you want to, the download link is in the description and in the description of the previous video, so be sure to go download it, and maybe you can do the interior as well. Be sure to tweet it at me or send me the video if you make one. So, yeah. Anyway, that is about it for the Southern Air Temple in terms of things I want to talk about. This area was a lot of fun to work on. I basically moved the yin-yang like 10 times in the video, but like it's fine. No one needs to know that. I was just spinning it in circles, and we're not going to talk about that. Final thing to talk about is the Sky Bison. Now, a lot of people have been asking for a tutorial on the Sky Bison. I will give you some good shots here, but I'm not going to do a block-by-block tutorial because I would just have to keep checking references, and that would take me forever. But I tried to recreate Appa the best that I could. I used like inspiration from other Sky Bison I've seen, such as the ones on Roguecraft, but then I made it a little different just to suit my needs because theirs was a little outdated. So yeah, we used the same iron trapdoor trick as like a smaller version of a quartz slab, because if I were to use a quartz slab here, it would seem, well, it doesn't seem that bad, but like I prefer the iron trapdoor. Yeah, and then you have just like this dark oak wood for like the highlights, his dark fur, his nose, and the black concrete for his eyes, this type of design for his horns, or her, sorry. And then also the saddle here is just full of like barrels and a grindstone, and it's just made with some stairs, some spruce wood stairs. So yeah, and then baby Appa or baby Sky Bison is also very, very simple. It is literally just 3 stairs going that way, some slabs down using spruce slabs, and some brown concrete powder, then a sign and 2 buttons for his eyes. So they're very, very simple. I think you guys can work them out if you want to build them yourselves. I'll give you all angle shots here. So here's the front of it, and here is the side of it, and here's the back of it. So sorry about the lag there, but this is a big world. We're going to jump onto the Southern Water Tribe now, where it is much less laggy, and we can actually show some stuff out. Okay, be right back. And we're back. So this is the Southern Water Tribe. If you did not watch my Southern Water Tribe video, you're like, what the heck is this? Or you may know just because it's from Avatar. Anyway, this is the Southern Water Tribe. It has a lot more detail because it's a lot smaller. So there's a couple things that I want to highlight when talking about the Southern Water Tribe. And the first thing a lot of people were asking is how I did the wall, which is literally, if you come up here, you can see it more clearly. It's just a circle. It's just, I used World Edit, I made a giant cylinder, of like 3 blocks high and 2 blocks thick. It's just a circle. So don't worry about that. It's pretty simple. For the actual terrain in here, it is the same trick abused over and over again, which is just snow layers. So I was doing a demo earlier because this is definitely not the second time I've recorded this. But yeah, it's basically you're just layering them up so that the higher points have like higher layers of snow and the lower points have lower areas of snow. It's just this, and you can spam this and like you can make it look as good as you want. I usually just spam it and then just like clean it up afterwards. So like that one would be higher, and this one, and then sometimes you want to go diagonal, so your diagonal ones want to be a little higher. But you're literally just doing this basically in every point. It goes around here, it goes around the rocks, goes around basically the entire town, or the entire village. So yeah, you can see it here as well. The same trick over and over again. And then when I come to the rocks, I was talking about this a little bit earlier, they're covered in snow, so the snow goes like diagonally through it. And then there's also these coral blocks as well as andesite and cobblestone, just to make it a little more interesting. And these fans as well, and these fire coral, as you can see over here, looks pretty dead. And then we have these little things here made of like scaffolding and looms, and there's some barrels over here and some chests. They just have snow on them, and it just looks like there's like a little more depth to the build. Like it's not just, there's some people living here maybe. I mean, it's kind of empty right now, but imagine some people living here. Some hay bales over here if they have some pets or food or something, and there's just a campfire in the middle here. Somehow it doesn't melt the snow. Who knows? Anyway, that is about it for the terrain. In terms of the igloo, it is literally just a half sphere, if you look at this, with some entry points on the side and some wood with some trapdoors around it, which is just snow spammed everywhere, like usual. And the tents, if you want some more detail on the tents, I did the same style of tents, but just red, on my Nether Village video. So go check out my Nether Village video, you'll see the same type of tents. I did a first-person time-lapse, so it should be easier to follow. And yeah, there's just diagonal tents, there's straight tents, there's small tents, there's large tents. Once you get the hang of it, you can do a lot of them pretty quickly, and then you just spam snow on some parts of them. I like to do that very close to the end, even replacing some of the wool blocks with snow blocks, so yeah. Final thing I want to talk about is Sokka's Tower. So Sokka's Tower here is just a cylinder that slowly gets smaller. And the one interesting detail here is that I actually just took out some snow blocks and then added a couple in like that, or a couple snow layers in like that, to make it look like there was like a brick missing or something, or part of it had melted. So that just gives it a little more detail, a little more depth that it would not have had otherwise. And I know that I said that wasn't going to be the final thing, but the boat, a lot of people have been asking about. The boat is just a Minecraft boat. Like, I don't know what you want me to say, like, from this. It's a boat that's just inspired from the Fire Nation ship. I think you guys are smart enough, I trust you enough, that you can build a boat and then just add some holes on it on the back and Fire Nation-y stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I know it was a little bit different from what I normally make, but a lot of people have been asking just how I put all of this together. And it's really, really simple when you boil it down to like these simple steps of building the rock, or making the terrain snow layers, or building the igloos, which are literally just half spheres with entrances. But just when you put it all together, it becomes a whole project, and I trust that you all can do it as well. So just try it out sometime. I know I've seen comments of people like maybe working on the Western Air Temple or some other places, or Kyoshi Island or something. That's great. Be sure to send me photos. I really want to see all of your creations. And I'm like super excited that this inspired you to do some as well. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I will be back next week with another building video, and you can actually see out here there's less detail because no one's going to see out here, and I don't know why I came out here. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. I hope this satisfied all your tutorial needs. I don't really like doing tutorials or step-by-step blocks, but this is kind of more like a how I did this less of a tutorial, so I'll let it slide. But guys, thank you so much for watching. My voice is already dying, and I just woke up, so see you soon, guys. Bye-bye!